Mikey here. This has got nothing to do with woodworking or metalworking, but it does have something to do with easy access to this woodworking shop. It's right now January something, I don't know, it's pretty cold, January 17th, 2024. We had a bit of snow yesterday or the day before, and it was a really slushy, maybe only about that much here in our area anyway. It was not enough to bring out a snowblower. It was a little, shovels, not really that great. So I had purchased something knowing that light snow doesn't work too well with a snowblower, but it's really too much to shovel. So I purchased something back, we're January 2024. Yeah, let me see. You can see there's one box. All right, I already opened one, and that's at my house now. I took it home yesterday, and here's the second one. These are called, they're like a snow shovel, but they're called a snow plow. You don't shovel snow, you push it like you would with a plow. All right, but I bought this last winter, and that guaranteed no snow, because the day it got delivered, from that point on, we had no snow the rest of that winter. And here, let me see, what's the shipping date? December of 2022. All right, I don't know if you can see it here. Shipping date, 29 December 2022. December 29, 2020. So I have had this from a little over a year now. A year and 2 weeks. And we finally got some snow. Okay, let's open up. I'm going to show you what it is. I'm going to put it together. That one is already together, and it's at my house, all right? This one I purchased for my son-in-law, who is one of the greatest guys you'll ever meet. He's smart as a whip, intelligent. He's my son-in-law, and he's like a son. I love him to death, I tell you. And he takes such good care of my daughter. They've given me a wonderful grandson and now a granddaughter. So he deserves something. I try to help him out with something when he needs it. I mean, he does very well for himself. He can certainly afford to buy all this stuff himself, but I like to do things for him when I can. All right, so at any rate, the snowplow.com. You see how it's pushing and it curls it over as you push it? It comes as small as, I thought they only had 3 models. It comes as small as 12 inches all the way up to 48. That could be changed now because it's a year later now. These 2 boxes have been sitting up in the front of my shop here for over a year. You want a triangular tube? That'll come in handy for something in the shop. And anyway, I already know what to do because I opened mine yesterday. And I put it together so I know how to. It doesn't come with instructions, but you don't really need them. It's probably common sense here. There's literally, I think, 5 bolts and 3 screws. That's it. I'm not sure what size the bolts are. They might be 3/8. I have an 11 millimeter socket on here that I used yesterday to put them together. And you need a Phillips screwdriver because there's 3 screws for the handle. And you have to be careful, and I'll show you why. I had a boo-boo on my own. When I put mine together yesterday, I did mess up. And I'll show you how I did that. Right? And anyway, the first thing you want to do, before I put it, I'll do what I did yesterday. Erase that and I'll talk more on that in a minute. I modified mine. All right, the first thing you want to do is you got to take this triangular bracket and it goes on the bottom like so. It doesn't go, there's no way you can put it together on the top, but this is literally how it goes, and then the handle will go through there. So the easiest thing to do is first, all right, they give you, I think they're 3/8. They could be metric because they're 11 millimeter works, which is close enough to 3/8. And then there's three little self-tapping, they're sheet metal screws, all right? And by the way, these are not stainless steel because my magnet didn't stick, but they are zinc coated. So, all right, the first thing you want to do is to easily, instead of trying to locate these 4 screws or bolts here, take and put this one in first. And that'll help line things up for you, all right? So you put that on, you thread this on, and by the way, these are aircraft, I call them aircraft nuts. There's a little nylon washer, integral. They knurl the end of the nut over. There's a little groove in there for it, and that keeps it from coming off. You don't have to put Loctite or anything like that on with these, all right? Okay, so I've got that one on just finger tight, and then you just drop the rest of them in here. See, it helps line up those 4. Yesterday I put these 4 on first, and it was a bear because they were all flopping all over the place. And guess what? They're short 1 bolt. Did I drop one? Yes, I did. Okay. They're not short 1 bolt, all right? Okay, there's the 4 bolts. Now I'm just putting these all on finger tight for the moment, and then I'm gonna use my impact wrench to tighten them on. When you get old, your fingers are not, you kind of lose a little bit of dexterity. Okay, I'm having fun. I did not have this difficulty yesterday. Okay, there's one. And of course, because I turned it upside down, the rest all fell out. Here goes the second one. If you're seeing this, it means I uploaded this video onto YouTube, onto my channel, which is metallicsawdust.com. Metallic Sawdust. That's my channel on YouTube, which you know because that's how you found me here, right? You Google it somehow and it was showed up on your home page or something. And there's 2, 3, and here's the 4th one. Now, if I were designing this, I probably would have not had hex head bolts on this side because snow is gonna, and ice is gonna catch, freeze up on all there, but it seems to work. I can't verify because I haven't used it yet. I put mine together yesterday after I had cleaned my driveway out. Okay, I have 11 millimeter wrench here, but I would have maybe countersunk flathead. That's my way of thinking, all right? It's possible they maybe thought it would crack this. I don't know if this is Mylar, Teflon, or whatever. It's a pretty hard. Oops, my nut is. I don't have a wrench. I'm just using an adjustable wrench. So, and I'm not going real tight because I don't want to crack the plastic. You can tell by my ratcheting sound there that I'm just snugging up with them. With those aircraft nuts, they're not going to come off. This is a Husky brand adjustable wrench, and it is really loose. You just touch it and it's turning the knob. I'm too lazy to go and get the correct size wrench for it. you don't want to tighten up too much. If you should do it by hand. But if you do use a ratchet, try not to over tighten because I'm sure these nuts will break this Milo or whatever. It is a pretty durable material. Okay. I have a Toro Z4000. It's a commercial landscapers lawnmower, riding lawnmower. It's a zero turn, and it had a mud flap which was similar to this. I lost one of the screws already. Oh, there it is. Okay, now the next thing you have to do, and this is where I blew it yesterday. I went like this, all right? I know the handle goes in here, right? Here's the, I just, without looking up there, without thinking, I was just so excited, I pushed it all the way in, and I tightened down the 3 screws. I went to pick it up, and I look at that. I had this, I never aligned it parallel to the blade, so pay attention to that. Probably the best thing to do is set it that tight and then turn this, and that will automatically align it. I'm just going to check. I'm going to, my eyeball. Yeah, that's close enough. I didn't do that though. All right. Now these you have to just drive in. There's 3 little depressions in the black plastic here. They did not drill holes, but you don't need a hole because these are self-tapping sheet metal screws. They'll drill right through it and tap themselves in. Okay. When I did that yesterday, the middle one, the tip of my little bit here, snapped off right in flush, which would not have been a problem had I had that alignment. I put the 3 screws on. I went to go like this, and I said, "This is." I went to help. I went to take them off, and I couldn't get that little piece out of that. So that stays forever. So. And of course, I won't give this one to that one to my son-in-law, because if he ever has to take the handle off for whatever reason, I don't want him to have a messed up screw head. Okay, there is a decal here. Assembly hardware located inside handle hole. Yeah, the little bag of screws was in here. I'll pull that off of there. I didn't take it off my own, but it'll come off down the road. All right, that's it. All right? Now, if you want to go push your snow, you don't shovel your snow. You are the motor, you're the truck, you're the plow, right? Boom, and you just go like that, and the snow's going to curl right over, and you just push it wherever you need to go. It's rather light. I believe this is fiberglass. Oh, they don't give you screws for this, but up here, I don't know if I'm in view. This is for hanging it on a wall. They give you this little plastic thing, and there's 2 holes. You can see the holes there, right? You screw that to a wall, and then when you're done using the plow, you just come and you snap it, you hang it up on the wall instead of hanging on the ground or whatever. All right. I did one more thing to mine. I haven't even used it yet, but I was looking. If you look, let me see where I am in the camera. Okay. You see this? It's kind of a square. Now this is, yeah, I think this is like a Mylar. It's very durable but flexible. It's got a square edge to it. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me try this. You see the edge is square? It's about 1/4 of an inch thick, and there's a square edge all the way around. Okay, they radius the corners, which is good. You don't want a sharp point there. But my way of thinking, all right, the other day, I bought a new spatula for frying eggs and things in a frying pan. It was all one piece of kind of like this material. And I said, boy, this is going to be great. It's all stiff, because the one I had was so flexible, the tip was bending when it got warm. So I bought this thing. I went to fry 3 eggs. I went to flip them over, and it had a blunt edge. All it did is it plowed right through and broke the yolk all over the place, which I didn't want to do. All right. Well, when I put my shovel, I'm returning that, by the way. When I purchased this, when I put this together yesterday, the first one for myself, I was looking at this, and I'm thinking, why didn't they put a sharp edge? All right. Like the plow for my, I have a plow that for my riding, I have a wheel horse tractor. It's got a plow and there's a sheet metal blade, and down on the bottom, bolted on, is a piece of 1/2 inch thick steel, 3 inches wide or so by the 4 foot width of the blade. And it's beveled on the bottom so that, you know, it's a sharper edge. So I said, I'm gonna put a sharp, it's possible this is a cost savings. Whatever cuts this out, which I'm sure is a CNC machine cutting these out, it's a one-step process to cut it. If they want to put a bevel, now they got to go back and do another bevel. I do not think this is poured. I could be wrong. No, I'm not wrong. This is maybe poured in a mold, and then they cut them, and then a CNC machine cuts this shape out of it, out of a larger sheet or a long length maybe. I could tell there's something cut this, like a router bit. I can see the little grooves in it, all right? So it might be a cost savings factor why they didn't put a sharp point. It's possible you don't need it. I don't know. I haven't used it. My way of thinking though, I'd rather see either a rounded edge or a bevel. So I'm gonna go on. I have a couple friends that have their own YouTube channels where I had first seen one of these, and they took a right angle grinder and one guy ground the top, which is the wrong side. You want to grind the bottom. But they ground a bevel to it, and it started to melt a little bit when they were grinding it, but they said it did work a lot better. One guy did a real long taper to a razor edge, and then he found it was chipping when he was doing his, he had a concrete driveway, which was all pebbly, it was worn, it wasn't a new one, and not real smooth. So the cement was coming out between the stones that are in concrete, and they were getting chips in it, all right? The other guy had an asphalt driveway like I have, and he never had any problem. But he also just ground it, not a real sharp angle, kind of blunt. I'm gonna, instead of grinding it, I'm gonna turn the camera around. I ran mine across my joiner, which cut. It's similar to the cut they did here. I'm gonna do this for Liam as well. So let me turn the camera around and stop talking so much. Okay, let's get the camera over here onto my joiner. Oh, I don't have the overhead lights on. It's starting to get dark in here already. It is about 4:30. Let me drop this down a little bit. Yeah, you can see it. It looks dark, but it's back there, but it's not really dark. It looks like it. Okay, I got my phone ringing. Let me see who that is. This is solicitation, I think. Hello. Hello. Hello? I don't know who, oh, they hung up. I have no idea. I get this all day long, darn solicitation from people, but yeah, let me set this, and I'm gonna run this across my joiner. This is for woodworking, all right? And when I'm now, my son-in-law, he's a little bit, I don't know if you can see me here. It's about a 45-degree angle. He's a little taller than me, but you know, I don't think the angle of the bevel is that critical. I'm going to put it at about a 45-degree angle. A guard to keep your fingers away from there, but for this, it's in my way, so. Okay. I don't know how well you can see it. Let me get behind the screen. Can you see that now? Let me see. I can't tell. Let me get, can you see the bevel on it now? There's a bevel, but I left about 1/16 of an inch flap there. I didn't want to go right to a sharp razor edge because I figured that would, again, make it chip too easily. Okay, but that bevel is so when you're holding it, you know what I mean? More like a scraper. That's like a real plow blade would be, all right? And so, see, you can be up or down a little bit, and it'll still be fine. I don't think my son-in-law, I'm gonna be about here. He'll be up a little bit more than me, so I think that's gonna work good. Let's put it this way. If it doesn't work, I can always go and square it right off again on my saw. Flatten it back out again. I think that'll work. So there you go. This is called the Snow Plow. If you want to buy one, go online. It's called, just type in thesnowplow.com. Remember the word, thesnowplow.com. Okay, and you can buy these. I bought 2 of them. I want to say I paid, I'll look it up and I'll put the link in there on the bottom of the page, all right? And I want to say I paid maybe 50 or 60 bucks for this. I'm not sure. It's possible I got a break buying 2 of them. I don't remember. I'll have to look at the invoice. It was a year ago. And like I said, I would have countersunk these with a flathead screw rather than a hex, so that this all stays smooth in here. I just feel that ice and all will build up, but from everybody that's got these, it works like this, you know. What I'll do down the road, if I see that problem, I'll take these off, I'll countersink a hole in there, and I'll put countersink stainless steel bolts in there, all right? Or countersunk flathead screws, so that's all smooth in here. Same thing up here. And I would obviously put stainless steel, because these, I think this zinc coating down the road will wear off. And they might rust down the road, I don't know. It seems to be pretty sturdy. It's not metal. The handle's pretty long. If you're a short person, there was a plug on the end. You could pop that out, cut the shorter, and then if you're short, I am 5'11", just a little under it. This feels pretty comfortable. It's possible, instead of parallel, maybe turn this at a slight angle. It would have been easier maybe to hold it, I don't know. But the screws are there. You could always loosen this handle up here and swivel it. That's what I did with mine, because I broke that bolt. I said the only way to fix it now, I couldn't get the bolt out, that broken piece, I couldn't get it out. So I took this screw out and I swiveled this. I eyeballed it, made it parallel, and put the screw back in. But you could always take that screw and turn just the handle, and you might find it more comfortable to be at a slight angle rather than, you see how your hand is kind of turned unnaturally? It would be more of a natural feel if it was at that angle when this was. So there's something to maybe think about. I mean, it's easy enough to do. You're just self-tapping into another spot. All right, so the Snow Plow, thesnowplow.com. Mikey likes it. Now, go make some sawdust.